Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
Doing well, thank you.
Perfect. Well, all right, short and sweet. I love it. So, for those of you who've never
Nice
been
and
to the
polite.
show before,
Nice and polite. Hello, sir. Hello, gentlemen.
yeet or no yeet tonight. I don't know how are people feeling. I don't know. It was a pretty good week in WWE. I'm not gonna lie. I know you don't care, but it was. As we get notes from one of our viewers. But for those of you who've never been to the show before, we are the Sharpshooters, and Thursday night is when we review the week in wrestling. We have Double or Nothing to talk about. We do our last point standing, so a lot to do tonight. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. Thank you to Accept the Wind for being our official band of the podcast. You see them, you hear them before and after the show and during the break. If you were here on Tuesday, they dropped a new what do we call that? Music video. Thank you. And we posted the YouTube link in our chat. So go to our link tree below, and you can check out Tuesday's episode. And maybe if someone's here, they could post the link themselves if they want to. Whatever you'd like to do, Freebird. And secondly, if you have not done so already, if you look below, we are at 4 out of 10 subs. We would love to get to 10 out of 10 if you could help us out. If you have Amazon Prime, it is free for you, helps us out, costs you nothing. Just go look in the chat.
Free?
Instructions are there. Really helps us out. So thank you so much. And without further ado,
Free.
Freebird, unless you have anything else you want to talk about, I'll bring up our last point standings.
$3.99. Well, I have something. I know you're talking to Freebird in our chat, but I'm here too. So I'll give everybody a quick reminder now. We'll bring it up again at the end of the show. But tomorrow night, over on Facebook, we will be taking part in a tournament once again with our friends over at Till 5 Wrestling. That is TILL number 5 Wrestling. Just go on Facebook, look up Till 5 Wrestling. You can find their Facebook page and support them today. And tomorrow night, we will be, Danny and myself will both be there live at 7 p.m. Streaming and having a tournament. It's 16 women. It's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. The way they do it is each team drafts 4 people, and then they debate somebody else on who they think is better, and then the other people vote, and then they move on. So last time it went a little bit long for my liking. Hopefully we can keep this one a little bit more under control. It's not our job to do that, but we'll do our best. And also I recommend any of you that can be there should be there, because if in the event of a tiebreaker, they are leaving it open to the chat to vote. So they're tabulating chat votes. So you have a say. So definitely come through tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Facebook, Till 5 Wrestling, greatest women's wrestler of all time. Danny and myself will be there. We will have some draft strategies to discuss over the next 24 hours.
I'm ready for it. All right, without further ado, here are our last point standings for the week. All right, so as always, we start off with WWE. What I've now decided to do, Juice, and I think this is going to be a little bit better, is going to go show by show and just give you the main points of the show. And if there's anything you want to, talk about or harp about, I'll listen. Otherwise, we'll move on. No hard feelings.
I mean, in my personal opinion, that's 5 points too many, but
well,
here we are.
They will all probably be less than 5 minutes unless you have something to discuss about them. Speaking of which, the first point is on you. So why don't you start us off with the NXT title changes for this week?
Yeah, I wanted to just briefly talk about this. Saw it online. Thought it was worth mentioning here. Ricky Starks, who was fresh off the boat going to NXT.
Ricky Saints?
Ricky Saints, whatever his name is. Fresh off the boat in NXT, having his whole run there, and he won the NXT North American title, only to lose it, I believe, like a month later.
Mm-hmm.
He lost it to Ethan Page, which I find hysterical. And it just blows my mind. Like, after all this, they give it to Ricky for a month. I mean, I really don't care at this point. He this is what he wants. This is where he is. So I had a little chuckle, a little laugh at that one myself. And another one that surprised a lot of people, JC Jane defeating Stephanie Vicaire for the NXT Women's title. Stephanie seems to be getting a call up to Monday Night Raw in the next month or so, I think I saw. And Yeah, I mean, listen, this is how NXT is supposed to be. When someone gets called up, they take the belt off of them. This one felt kind of abrupt. I don't think it's really going to put anybody over. And I don't know about you, but to me, this screams the Indy Hartwell title win about a year or two
Yep.
ago,
I was just thinking that.
where she won it out of nowhere. So call me crazy, but it's May 29th, 2025. A year from now, JC Jane is gone from WWE.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. JC Jane, she's been there for a while too, so it's not like she's some
Yeah.
like new up and comer. Um,
This is a pity title win. And
the
I've never been a JC Jane fan personally. I've seen enough of her over the years when I was watching NXT, and she was always the worst one in every group she was
Agreed.
in. So
Agreed.
not a fan of hers.
Yeah, I don't trust it either. And the funny thing about the Saints and Page stuff is that you hear all these little WWE marks being like, "Oh, look at how much better they're treating them." This is exactly what they were doing in AEW. So just on, in my opinion, a smaller stage in NXT. They're not even on the main roster. So I don't really agree that they took a step up. I'm surprised you didn't mention and I know you said NXT title changes, but it was a title change on NXT, the TNA World Heavyweight title change.
Oh yeah. Well, sure we can bring up that one too. And then Trick Williams from NXT defeats Joe Hendry to win the TNA World Title. It is a joke. It's just, I'm sorry, man. Like, this is just so embarrassing, and TNA is just gonna gobble it up.
100%.
And the fans are gonna love it.
And
it's
what's crazy to me is within like 20 minutes of that title change, they had this I somewhere online, I think it was OWE or TNA that put it up, or at least shared it, where they had like all the NXT and TNA champions, whoever's won both, and it's just like, bro, like, I don't listen. I don't pretend to watch NXT, but I don't think from what I've seen, Trick Williams is on that level. So for you to like start putting that up there and stuff, it just made me laugh. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I've never been a Trick Williams guy either.
Yeah.
But yeah. So some things from the chat really quick. Stephanie's 100% getting a call up. Stephanie will be the biggest thing in women's wrestling this time next year. I'm calling it. And say his name, and he appears. Yeah, no, I think she has a shot, but it comes down to booking and making her seem like a big deal and not just like everybody else.
Agreed.
And as we've seen, they very quickly can do that to somebody where all of a sudden they're just like everybody else and they don't stand out.
Agreed.
And yeah, so I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, so that brings us to SmackDown. So here's some quick points from SmackDown that happened. And again, if you want to comment, you feel free. Otherwise, I'll move right on to Saturday night's main event. On SmackDown, first thing is we had another Money in the Bank qualifier for the women's. We had Julia beat Zelina Vega and Charlotte to qualify for Money in the Bank. So that did surprise me a little bit that Charlotte didn't make it through. Her and Alexa Bliss seem to be starting a little bit of a rivalry as well that began right before the match. We didn't touch on this last week, but Jeff Cobb's new name in WWE land is JC Mateo as he joins the Bloodline. And I just was curious to see if you have any thoughts about that name, good or bad. I don't know if I like it or don't like it. It's just different to me. But like JC Mateo, I don't know if that's going to be a world champion name.
Nope. Good for him.
All right. R-Truth is going to continue the rivalry with John Cena, it seems like. He did a promo where he said he's not going to quit until like he gets Cena back to being a good guy, which makes me think if, before the end of the year, if that's going to be how Cena changes to a babyface back, it's going to be something with R-Truth. The second qualifier match of the night for Money in the Bank, and I'll go over all of the Money in the Bank qualifiers later so far. LA Knight defeated Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura in the pre-main event. Sorry, right before the main event. And in the main event, we had a triple threat tag team title match where the Wyatt Six, I'm sorry, not a triple threat, a one-on-one, because there were so many tag teams involved towards the end of it, one-on-one with Fraxium versus Street Profits, where pretty much towards the end, a bunch of tag teams started getting involved, and then the lights went out, and the Wyatt Six have reappeared back on SmackDown, interfered, caused no contest, and seem to be involved in the tag team title picture now. So any thoughts on anything from SmackDown?
Yeah, I still think the Wyatt Six stuff is gross. I don't like it at all. I think they should just leave Wyatt's legacy where it is and buried, and like just because it's his birthday, they come out with the cake and blow it out. Like this is for you. People love it, I'm sure. I don't at all. I think it's in bad taste, and I know who am I to say it when it's his own brother doing it. I don't care. I don't really like it. I don't care for it, and the group sucks. I'm sorry. Like
Agreed.
there's like one good person in that whole group.
Yeah. I mean, supposedly they were waiting for Alexa Bliss to now do this little run she's going to be on. That's why they brought them back, because Alexa's supposed to take over. I don't think that's going to salvage it at all. I think it's still kind of dead in the water, and you've waited so long. So, all right. Moving on, we had Saturday night's main event this week. So this will be a nice quick one. 4 quick notes from that. First off, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman have introduced a new member to their faction. Oh, wait, Juice, did you freeze? Oh, no.
No,
Wow, you were just still for such a long time, bro. You looked frozen. That was crazy. So, Bronson Reed has joined the Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman faction, where he, at the end of the tag team match, came in, helped them out, and annihilated CM Punk and Jey Uso? No, not Jey Uso. Sorry, Sami Zayn. R-Truth came out, even though it was a squash match. Freebird says, what is a Bronson Reed? R-Truth came out in full Cena getup. He had the Cena music. It was actually pretty funny because Cena had just come out, and then all of a sudden his music rehits and no one knew it was kind of happening. And then after that, it was just the squash match that you kind of expected. Damian Priest has beaten Drew McIntyre in that cage match that we talked about. So Priest, and I think that rivalry is kind of over. At least I thought it was. And then we'll see what happens on SmackDown. I hope it is. I think they're going to be moving on, but we'll see. I don't know. And then last but not least, the main event, which was Logan Paul versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I know you were so excited for, ended, would you believe, in a no contest when John Cena, for some reason, interfered, causing Cody Rhodes to make his comeback and also interfere. And now we have what has already been booked as the main event for Money in the Bank, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul and John Cena.
Yeah, get well soon, Drew. I heard he's taking some time off to heal, so I wish for the best.
All right. Riveting. I love it. And last but... No,
I don't know what
man.
you want from me, man.
I'm trying. I'm just making sure I cover all the points, good or bad. And that's on your feelings. And Raw. So a few notes from Raw, not too many. Money in the Bank qualifier. Penta defeated Dragon Lee and Chad Gable after Chad Gable hit Vikingo, who was hanging at ringside, because you know how much that was a dream match that is very anticipated coming up. But he hit Vikingo, and then as Chad was about to go up and supposedly end the match, Vikingo comes back, hits him, and then Penta was able to take advantage and get the win. The Roxanne storyline with Judgment Day has continued, where Roxanne, and it's so brief, it's so strange, but Roxanne brought a platter of chicken nuggets to Dom in the back while they were all hanging out in the clubhouse, and Liv Morgan made her return from Japan, caught them. It was a weird little interaction, and then later on in the night, Liv had a match where Roxanne tried to interfere and kind of caused the match, and it's going to be a weird little storyline going forward with those two. Gunther and Jey Uso, I don't know if we talked about it or not. Gunther and Jey Uso, that match is happening after Money in the Bank, which is so strange to me. I thought it was happening on a Raw beforehand, but it is literally happening on the Raw after Money in the Bank. So Jey Uso will be in a main event tag team match with his former number one contender, and then the next night facing Gunther defending his championship. So I don't know how they're going to make that work or make that make sense. And last but not least, the last qualifying match of the night in the main event, Seth Rollins defeated Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. Two storylines kind of happened here. Obviously, the Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker family stable kind of thing made its way in there. But also, Dom tried to help Finn. He slid a chair into the ring, but Seth took advantage before Finn could use it, stomped him into the chair, and that's how he won the match. So that furthers the Judgment Day storyline. That furthers this Seth Rollins storyline. So that was our Raw. That was the main points from Raw. Nothing?
Yep,
All right. No problem. And then last but not least, so with all that being done, we have the Money in the Bank qualifiers. And I know you said you were waiting to hear a couple more before you could start making a judgment. So I think this time I'll be able to get you to get something out of you. But so far in both the men's and the women's, we have 4 out of 6 qualifiers. For the women, so far we have Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, and Julia. And then for the men, we have Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, and Seth Rollins. What are your early feelings so far of both Money in the Banks?
Men's field sucks. The women's field, I can see going any direction so far.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing. Seth Rollins, the clear-cut favorite right now. Maybe LA Knight as a dark horse. You know, Penta and Solo aren't winning, so they really need to add like a big 5 and 6 right now to make this match more believable and watchable. The women's, though, I am excited about. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne, Rhea, Julia. That's a really good lineup so far, and whoever wins out of that, with the exception of Rhea, I don't want Rhea winning. I think everyone's kind of done with Rhea winning, but I think Rhea being in the match kind of solidifies it.
So you know all the qualifiers. I don't know everybody that was in everything. So who has not been in a qualifier yet that is big enough? Like, has Punk been in a qualifier yet?
Punk has not been in a I don't think so. No, I don't think Punk's been in a qualifier yet.
So like, who has not been in a qualifier yet that you feel like is big enough to get in there?
So
like,
for the men,
get in there.
Men, I think someone like Dom. He hasn't been in a qualifier yet. They might try to stick him in there, but you need some faces, and that's the problem. You might try to get, now that he's off the win, I don't think Damian Priest was in the. I need to check. I don't remember, because the problem is all these qualifiers were triple threats. So you have 4 winners, which means you have 8 losers, and I don't remember all 8 of the losers. I can look that up really quick, but
he's right. That checks out, everybody. All right, I was just curious, like, who's like big enough that's left that hasn't had a shot, but because Punk did stick out. I don't know if they're gonna try and throw Bronson in there or Braun as well, give him like more muscle, Seth. But
yeah, so far, like, and it's been like no names, like Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix lost to Solo. You know what I mean? I don't think Drew or Damian's been in one yet. So because I thought Damian was in the one with LA Knight, but I don't recall for sure. Wasn't LA Knight last night? No, oh, you're right. LA Knight was last week. Hold on. No, you're right. Yeah. I think LA Knight Black and no. LA Knight was Aleister Black and Nakamura. Yeah, that was last week. So I don't think Priest has been in it. I don't think McIntyre's been in it. Faces wise, Ray's not going to be back in time. Sammy just lost. I don't know. They don't really have a lot of faces, big name faces I can think of left. CM Punk is probably the only one that they need to get in there. So we'll see. And the women's, they have a lot of options. And the women's field is already pretty good. So the women's field, we'll see where they go with it. Io Sky hasn't been back in a while. Becky and Lyra are going to be doing their own thing at Money in the Bank for the IC title, so they're not going to be in a qualifier. Or plus, they already lost. So they still got some options with the women's. All right. So since our WWE talk has been so short, we don't need to take a break in the middle like we usually do. We'll take a break sometime in the middle of AEW. We're going to get right into our AEW talk. So let me just get us there. Boom. Boom. Starting off with Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. Do you want me to pull up the I'll pull up the predictions as we talk about this.
Oh, you can just throw them up now once, and then that's it. I think that's fine. Just get them up, and then we can move on.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm going to block Juice for a little bit and just show our predictions then, guys. Give me 1 second. Bam. Sorry, Juice. You're gone.
It's all right. I'll be back.
All right, so our predictions, as you guys can see, just scrolling through, pretty much we got everything right. The only 2 things that we were split on were the 2 Owen Hart Cup finals. Mercedes Moné I picked. Jamie Hayter was Juice's pick. Going down through, we both picked Tony, FTR, Ricochet, Okada. Again, the Cup finals, I picked Adam Page. He picked Ospreay. Then going through it, we all picked the rest of the same. Kenny Omega, Callis family, Megan Bain and Penelope Ford, which we were both surprised lost, and the tight ends Bandito and Fox. So I ended the night 10-1. Juice ended the night 8-3. So I got a little bit more of a lead in the overall record, as you guys can see at the bottom there. All right, so pretty good night though. I really enjoyed it. So getting this back off so we can see Juice's beautiful face again. Hey, you're back. Oh God, no. I should hide you again.
Kill it.
All right, so starting off with Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter, the opener. What you got for me?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is really just for you and I to talk about the pay-per-view. I mean, we had a lot going on into this, and it was a great match, great opener, and Mercedes Moné won. And even as the resident Mercedes Moné fan, I still don't know how I feel about it. I mean, overall, Mercedes and Tony are like my two current favorites going today. So, I mean, I'm on the ride. I'm on the train, as you call it, the money train into the Tony tunnel. So I'm along for the ride. I'm excited for the match, but I'm still not crazy about what it means for the belts being kind of both involved here is all. So we'll see how the road goes with it, but I don't see Mercedes losing one along the way. I don't see her relinquishing anything, but either way, not crazy about it. But the match itself was amazing. Mercedes continues to deliver. I think Hayter's been good. I still think she's still kind of she's heating up, but I don't think she's that hot still. That's kind of why I thought the win would do that for her here. But obviously we'll get to it in a little bit. But it seems my question has sort of been answered.
Yeah, with direction. I remember that's something you were talking about last week.
We'll get to that in a bit because I don't know if that's certain for sure, if it's a different kind of match. But yeah, I thought it was an awesome opener, awesome match for Mercedes. I liked her stuff with Stat a little bit more, but I still think the match itself delivered. I think the crowd was hot for it to open. What do you think?
I agree. I think that was the perfect opener, and I think that the whole time, the entire match, there wasn't really a point where I was just like, okay, I know for a fact Mercedes is winning. Like, Jamie Hayter was so, at certain points, dominant in the match. Like, I was surprised that she was getting as much control as she was getting with the Mercedes Moné match. And it's exactly what she needed. You need to show that kind of side of Jamie, and you need to see that she can really take control of the match. She hasn't been back in a while. Like, she hasn't had long of a match in such a long time. So I was really glad to see her do her business. I was more surprised with the ending. And I love those surprise endings, but I was just more surprised that it wasn't like a final ending and that it was like a roll up kind of sneak out. And she literally ran out of the ring, ran up to the thing. I thought that was perfect.
Hell of a roll up. She spiked her to the ground, into the roll up. So that was pretty dope. Yeah, I mean, I personally would have liked them to do a little bit more of the celebration, pomp and circumstance for her after the win. I didn't really like the whole running away and it being so quick, but I guess she's a heel. And
I was about to say though, you get mad when WWE blows it up with the heels. So but you caught yourself. You just caught yourself.
I do, but at the same time, they've done the celebration look what they did with Ricky when he took out Steamboat.
That's fair.
Right? I think it was Steamboat. Either way, so they've done the heel thing before. They could have easily. I guess they didn't want to do it again because of Owen's legacy. I don't know. And then I can bring it up in the next few points, but just minor nitpick. I wish they would just have both opponents wear the pink, wear the Owen colors, because could be wrong, but yet again, the person that wore pink won the match, and I'm pretty sure they haven't all worn pink every year. So again, minor nitpick, but if you're gonna do it, the fans are smart enough at this point. Just have them both wear pink.
No, I agree with you.
Next up, Anarchy in the Arena.
This was a weird one.
So much. I watched this match 2-3 times, mainly because of scoring.
I was gonna say you had to because of scoring.
I tried to watch it. I tried to score it the first time, and maybe minutes in, and they did the quad box. I just sat there with my mouth open, and I'm like, I can't do this,
bro.
I'm not gonna be able to do this.
100%. Once they did the quad box, the first thing I thought was, oh, he's gonna watch this 4 times now. He literally has to watch each box one at a time.
I really tried, and so I I ended up just counting the finishers, and I went back for the weapons afterwards.
Smart.
But the good thing is, once the music stopped, from that point on, I was able to score it the first time through. It was
Okay.
really just that early part where I was like, I'm missing shit. There's way too much going on. It was great. I loved it overall. I think I still wouldn't have done the music spot on Dynamite. I didn't
Yes.
mind it here. They because there was no point of doing it on Dynamite. It worked well in the moment in Anarchy in the Arena. And they did it. I mean, they did it well. They did the stupid Young Bucks Civil War music with the flute. Then they did "I'm So Excited," which I immediately popped for because I was like, "Oh, Danny's gonna love that." And then they dropped "Drowning Pool," freaking let the body on the floor.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I popped more for Drowning Pool than I did for it's like. Once they started playing Drowning, I literally got up and started like fucking rocking out of my house. I love Drowning Pool, bro. I got so hyped.
Yeah, it was awesome. And honestly, like it's gonna sound cliche, but like there was this one moment when they were just showing the crowd like doing the 1, 2, and I'm like, bro, this is fucking ECW.
Yeah.
Like that was a straight up ECW moment with the crowd just going with it. It was sick. And Swerve timing the jump to the outside with the drop at the beginning, perfect. So many moments, man. I'm gonna miss stuff I want to talk about from the match, but holy shit! Like Mark Briscoe coming out at the end, the exploding table,
Bro, the exploding table, and we talked about it a little bit on Tuesday. I legit, for a second, thought like Kenny burned his face. The way he reacted when they went through, he literally like grabbed and touched. I was like, oh no! I was like, this got fucked.
Yeah.
It was so good. There were so, like you said, so many even and we haven't mentioned them once. Willow and Shafir, like they had huge moments in this match all over the goddamn. It was crazy.
So I'm clearly what's the word, masochist, or I'm clearly insane because as soon as Willow got the padlock put on her with the chain, I was like, yo, Willow's ripping that shit off. Like she's just gonna rip it off and start bleeding. And
I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure.
That was my first thought right away. I was like, she's gonna fucking rip it off. She ain't gonna wait for no padlock or anything like that. But really, I was wrong, and they just got someone to unlock.
I mean, for the better, because like you would have to break the earring and then rip through the earlobe. Like,
well, that's why I'm saying that I'm insane.
I just don't think. I just don't know. Like, do you have enough? No, I think the ear would have ripped off. I don't think. I'm thinking about it now.
The ear would have ripped off.
I'm thinking about it now. I think the whole ear would have ripped off before she broke through the earring. If she's pulling, that would have been. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I know. I'm insane. But immediately I was like, she's gonna do it. She's gonna. It's
God.
wrestling. Yes.
It's wrestling.
And then they locked them all in the ambulance. Just so many moments, so much stuff. Yeah, I'm forgetting stuff.
Oh man.
Oh, the staple gun. Oh my God,
bro, the staple to the tongue. When he ended the match and he's just like, I'm like, it's still there. Oh my God, it's still there.
His entrance was nuts too. The Predator, I love that.
I love the Predator, and it made me laugh because the first time they used a staple gun, I forgot who was the first person they used it on, but I think it was the Bucks using it on Swerve, and they missed his head, so the staple was just like in his hair, and I'm like, like you fucked up the spot. That was Hobbs. Okay,
was Hobbs.
I was like, you fucked up the spot, and then literally, like 2 minutes later, she goes bang the tongue. I was like, this was exactly what you needed. Like, perfect.
Yep. Yeah. Again, we're missing stuff. If anybody else has a moment that they wanted to talk about from Anarchy in the Arena that we didn't bring up, throw it in chat. We'll definitely go back and pop for it and talk about it. And before we move on, really quick, I just wanted to again bring up, now that we know how everything went down with Mercedes and Hayter, I still don't think Hayter should have hit the clothesline on Dynamite. You should have saved it to have Mercedes kick out and everyone lose their mind.
I agree.
Now we know how it went, but I just had to get that off my chest. Still annoyed me. All right. Anything else in Anarchy in the Arena? You good?
No, I'm good because I'm ready to talk about the next goddamn thing too.
Also, the right team won. The babies should have won that match.
Yeah.
So, good job on that.
No, for sure.
All right. Next up, the main event. We have Adam Page versus Will Ospreay going near 40 minutes in the Owen Cup final. They did some pretty epic lighting for it. I think they've done that a few times before. I think they did it once during like Joe's reign. But
so first, I want to say,
wow.
First, I want to say that this pay-per-view went 5 hours, right? It went almost to midnight.
4.5. It went to 12:30. Yeah.
So, oh yeah, it started at 8. My bad. I thought it started at 7. No, well, I
Well,
count.
oh, the
Sometimes I
kickoff,
count
the
the 0
kickoff.
hour. Yeah. So, all
Yeah, you
right,
can count it.
4.5. 2 minutes in this main event, I was not feeling the 4.5. Like I thought I was gonna be tired. I think and I was glad that I was kind of right that they separate Anarchy in the arena and they put the 6-man tag in between Anarchy in the arena and the main event, because I think that gave me a little bit of like time to recoup and be like, all right, whew, like let me take a little walk, let me stretch my legs really quick. Like I'll bring the iPad and like watch. Go on, what were you
You
gonna say?
can finish this. No, finish the sentence. I was just gonna
But
jump in as well.
I think that they for the task they had at the end of 4.5 hours at the Anarchy in the arena, the way they had that main event with the fans eating out of their hands, I was again so awake. I wasn't feeling tired at all. Like it was a very well paced show in my opinion, and I didn't feel it being 4 hours at all.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say, a quick little note is I brought this up too the night I was watching it. Like, if you're gonna put the 6-man tag on in between Anarchy and the main event to cool off the crowd and give them a minute to take a breather, maybe don't have Tanahashi come out like after the match to pop everybody. I think that kind of defeats the purpose of cooling your crowd off a little
Well,
bit
I
and
mean,
letting them
yes
rest
and
up.
no, because you cool them off, then you give them like a little pop, and then they kind of wake up and get
Yeah.
ready for the main event. So this way, they're not like tired at the start of the main event. I will say though, Tanahashi didn't pop me because he looked like exactly what I remember him at Forbidden Door, which isn't good. Like
Well,
I'm sorry, I know he's
I
a
didn't.
legend, but like he did not
Yeah.
look like he could
Yeah.
walk.
And I didn't hate it. It's a nitpick. I'm just
Of
like,
course,
again, it didn't affect me. I'm not there live, but for like a cool off thing, it's like.
of course,
Also, keep in mind this is Tanahashi's last year. He's retiring at the end of the year,
fair.
and I find it interesting because I brought this up to the people I was with too. Um, he wrestled like a month or two ago, and they billed it as his last match ever in the United States. So now I'm like, okay, so if he's done in the U.S. now, and you're bringing him out, like unless he's only wrestling at Forbidden Door in London, like
I mean, probably.
he's probably gonna wrestle again in the U.S.
I don't
People are
think
not gonna be
so.
happy.
I don't think so.
But
I think it's only going to be Forbidden Door.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna care either way. I've seen him live. I've gotten my fill, but
Same.
it's very interesting. And I know we just spent the whole 3 minutes not even talking about Paige and Osprey,
Totally fine. Let's
but
get into it.
yeah. But really quick before we do, since we didn't put him on here, as you said, the show was paced really well. Even though the matches weren't that amazing, I do think in the few months stretch that they've done with like Hurt Business match, Hurt Syndicate match, and Okada match and Tony match, I think those were the three best versions. It was the best Hurt Syndicate defense, the best Okada defense that they've had in months. While the stories may have not been that well put together, I think they were the best like match wise to deliver. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not
Actually,
great.
I do.
Yeah.
All right. So
So did you
Paige
want?
and
Yeah.
Osprey.
No. Yep.
Paige and Osprey. I mean, we knew the moves that they were going to do. We knew exactly what kind of storyline they were going to bring into it. I kind of want to just more talk about like towards the end, because I for a second I didn't think Paige was going to win it. Like Paige hit the first clothesline and then everyone started getting hyped. I'm like, all right. Then he misses. And I'm like, shit. Okay, that's it. Like that was when he was supposed to hit it, the buckshot. When he missed the buckshot the first time, I was like, man, if Osprey can get any of his finishers on, I think that's gonna be the end of it. The way like this match is hyping up, we're getting at the 35-minute mark. Like it's got to be over soon. But AEW just does those finishes so well these days that I can't ever like see it coming, and I know you do it better than I do, but I really sometimes I love being a fan with this company, because like I really just get to sit there and be like, oh man, I didn't see that like that's awesome.
Yeah, there were. I didn't really feel a certain way throughout the match. Like, oh, he's got it. This is it. Like, nothing. It wasn't really until like basically right around the end when like basically when you knew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that moment during the match, like before you hit the move, you're like, all right, this is it. Yeah. So I was along for the ride. I enjoyed the match. Like I've been saying, I mean, I still am not that crazy about it compared to Osprey, but I'm on the train. I'm on the ride. Let's see what they can do here. Um, because I don't know. I mean, I still think it's setting up either Paige is going to win it, and I personally don't think he should be the one to beat Mox for it, or he's going to lose, and everyone's going to lose their fucking minds.
I think that's I think
So,
everyone's gonna lose their minds. He's still and I was thinking about like literally after he won, and I know we've been like talking about the Paige Osprey for a while back and forth because like and I've been saying
yeah.
that I love that's another thing I love about us being fans that like we were on the opposite side of this storyline and we're just like just having so much fun with it. But I still think he gets his redemption storyline whether he wins or loses. And you started seeing that a little bit on Wednesday with the Swerve stuff, where the redemption for Paige is. I know he says it's the belt, but like for fans and for drama and for wrestling soap opera stuff, it's really just about him becoming like a baby face again and him making amends with all those guys that he wronged and him making so like a redemption, you can still lose and still redeem yourself at the end of it. Where the Ospreay thing, I really and I still believe it. Where I really think the next time he goes for the belt, he has to win it. Like he said, it's his ascension. So like if he doesn't win the belt on the next try, which we both agree, whoever won this wasn't winning the belt. Then I think for Ospreay it was more going to be more of a waste than it is for Paige. Paige has already won it. He really just needs a redemption more than the belt itself.
And
So
I just want to say it now, have it on the record that no matter what happens at All In, if Hayter or Osprey get the next title shot at Forbidden Door anyway, I'll be pissed.
that's going to be so stupid.
They
100%.
really, I mean, I'm just again, and this is the WWE brain kind of talking, but also AEW does it too now with hometown shit. So like, just, listen, I
100%
like
agree
them
with
both. I like them both, but the loss has to mean something. They shouldn't just get the next shot in the hometown.
you. Agreed.
So
Agreed.
yeah,
Agreed. All right. Next up. Whew, almost 10 minutes on these guys. All right. Next up, we go over to Dynamite.
Yeah, well, like you said, we've spent a lot of time talking about these things, so it's clearly doing something well with the story where it gets people talking like this.
I love it.
And it doesn't have to be a part timer like Logan Paul or Goldberg to get people talking.
And also the fact that we're not even like literally opposite ends of the spectrum. Where we're not like, no, you were wrong. It's like, oh man, I really like enjoyed where your thought was. Like I could see that, but this like it's just great. I just love it. Anyway,
yeah,
Anna Harley versus Megan and Ford. What do you want to talk about? Because I think Wednesday should have happened on Sunday.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel that way. A lot of people that think that.
Crazy, man.
Here's the problem: you can't do that match on Sunday because the Anarchy in the Arena and Stretcher match. Plus, it's on the buy-in, so you couldn't.
That would have been a cool buy-in though, a no DQ. Like if you want people to actually watch the buy-in, that's the kind of match you put on the buy-in.
No, you're right, but not when Anarchy in the Arena is the match on the pay-per-view. So I get
That's
it.
fair.
But so my thing I wanted to bring up was just maybe I'm wrong, but just from the end, like I feel like Megan Bain continues to get no reaction from the crowds, and I don't mind her, but I just feel like it's not clicking.
I was thinking that too, and I also feel like Harley getting the busted nose or busted lip or whatever happened, she got hit. That got more reaction than anything that Megan Bain did, which is scary. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about. She's not good on the mic, so she needs a mouthpiece. And until you get her like some quality airtime, promo time, no one's gonna care. She's just another good wrestler because AEW is full of good wrestlers. You need something to make her stand out.
I also don't think she's shown enough to really be given the distinction of a really good wrestler.
That's fair too.
That's just my opinion. Like from what I've seen, like it's not bad, but nothing I've seen from her go, oh damn, she's good. Like it's just like
that's fair too. She's a good hand.
She's doing the basic stuff for her character, her beast kind of thing. And also, I didn't rewatch it. I'm not gonna lie, but is it just me? Did they whiff that Doomsday Man? Ford completely whiffed on the end.
Yes.
Like I was like, that was brutal, and I like Penelope Ford too. I like all four of these women.
I really do think they were tired by the end of that, and some of them were hurt. Like that match was brutal, and I think they were feeling the effects towards the end. I have a question, fantasy wise, did anyone pick any of these four?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
nice.
nobody had Penelope Ford. I think it was to protect Harley's face. Yeah, but like she's still gonna fall. She's gonna drop.
And also
I
Harley
get.
Harley was so gung ho about getting back into that match, she didn't care. Like I think
Yeah.
they just kind of whiffed it. So you said no one
Yeah.
picked Ford.
So no one had Ford. I think two people had Megan.
Damn.
I think one person had Anna, and two people had Harley.
Damn.
Somebody had. I'm not gonna reveal it, but somebody had Anna Jay, Harley Cameron, and Megan Bain, and
Wow.
they
Cleaned
cleaned up.
up. Yeah, for
It was
sure.
huge,
Bro, I was going back
especially.
and forth with so many people this week, and like I was
Mhm.
trying to go in my head. I'm like, all right, who's probably gonna be in these qualifiers? But they just wrestled this past week. Are they like Claudio? I was mad. I had him on my list. I took him off. Bailey, I had on my list. I took off. I was like, Moxley, I had on my list. I took off. I was like, I don't know if they're gonna put them in a match. I want to try to get someone who's gonna be in the ring.
Uh, yeah, and next week should be interesting too, because next week it's a 4-hour
Bro,
Dynamite.
what the fuck? Thank
So
God I have off on the 5th so I can watch it because 4 hours is a fucking pay per view, man. That's crazy.
yeah, so I don't know how or if they're doing Collision that week too, but I guess my notes are going to be all Dynamite.
We'll see.
Um, is it's a lot.
All
But yeah,
right.
that's all I got on the women's match.
Next up, we got Ricochet. Aha.
Ricochet, man, I tell you. So this isn't even about the stretcher match, which by the way was solid.
I'll just say
Um,
he's on the Dynamite part of this list, so this isn't about the stretch match. What's this about?
so this is the
Oh, I
segment
know
that
what
he
this is
did
about. Actually,
backstage.
can I say it for you?
Please
Good
do.
fucking call, Juice. Because that promo where he started talking about, I need backup, I need a crew, I need a crew, I need a crew. The entire time I just kept hearing your voice saying, oh, Ricochet and a crew, Ricochet and a crew.
Hey, just they put them on the graphic during that money match a month or two ago, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's it. That's a group like that. It
100%, bro.
works. And here they are doing. So now here's the thing: I will protect myself, not really protect myself, but cover my bases. I've seen people say they should put the Gates of Agony with them. I don't think they do that because they want to give them like muscle or big people, like the little guy behind them. I don't think they do that only because Gates of Agony is like actively trying to be baby faces lately
Yes.
with the way they're like acting. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way they
Because
go.
they
So
also,
I think,
they just broke away from, was it the Callis family? No, who did they just break away from?
well, kind of. I mean, they were with Brian Cage,
Yeah, yeah,
and then
okay.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So they just broke
So
away from that whole like kind of thing. So like they are
yeah.
trying to be faces more. They just had that big
Mhm.
street fight a couple of weeks ago against Big Bill and whatever and Cowboy. So
Brian
yeah,
Keith. Brian
there
Keith.
you go. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I agree. I don't think they're going to go with that. I think the
Yeah.
way he kept saying crew, crew, crew was just, if it's not crew, that's dumb. Like, I'm sorry. If he's not joined up with the crew, there was no reason to say crew that many times. You could have said anything, any other word that could have alluded to a stable besides crew. So, no,
They're gonna put
I
him with. They're gonna put him
100%.
with top flight. Top flight do a double turn.
I would be
Um,
pissed.
yeah, it could work. You never know. All right. Next, I just wanted to put that in there because that popped me big when I
That
saw
was
that.
great. No, I remember. I saw it. I'm like, what about Ricochet? Oh yeah. All right, moving
Hmm.
on. Next up, we got Paragon versus the Callis and the Callis family.
Yeah. So, not yeah, they had a good 6-man on. They did a good job of heating this one up last minute with the
Mm-hmm.
collision before it, night before, then doing the match on Sunday, and then yeah, I just wanted to talk about the matches they were having, and then also this past last night when they did the TNT title match, Adam Cole defending against Kyle Fletcher, Adam Cole winning via DQ, which I kind of expected because it just seemed like it was unhyped, unpromoted for
I
Fletcher
thought
just
the
to
same
beat
thing for
Cole.
for Fletcher of all people. If it was anyone else in the Callis family, it would have been a
Yeah,
clean win. But Fletcher specifically, I was like, or Konosuke. But
yeah,
Fletcher
yeah.
specifically, I was like, oh, that's gonna end weird. And I was
But
actually mad because I
um,
picked Cole, and then I saw him coming
yeah,
out against Fletcher. I was like, God damn it!
I mean, hey, he got points for retaining, but not for
Yeah,
a win because it's
not,
DQ. But
yeah.
either way, so it kind of cancels out. Think of it as a non-title win.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, but oh man, that power bomb though on the apron right before commercial break
I
is when they
I
just
That was one of the most vicious apron power bombs I've ever seen. And Kevin Owens has done some bad ones.
It's crazy though, because somebody slowed down the video and posted it, and he actually didn't hit at all. He just missed and just went bam straight down. So he actually was very lucky. Like if he was a few inches more in, that might have been it, man. That was brutal.
Dead.
Very, very rough hit, and along with the Chad Gable one that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
that was a rough pile driver spot too.
Where do you think they're going with these two? Do you think that he's losing the TNT title to one of these guys in the Callis family?
I think he's going to lose it to Fletcher. Yeah. And honestly, you know what? Like, I think we need to get back to like the TV titles need to move around quick. It's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with a short reign for the TNT or TBS. I know Mercedes is doing her thing,
or at least defend them more. If you're not going to do short reigns, put it like you're putting Adam Cole on TV as a commentator. Put him in the ring. He's your champion. Put him in the ring.
That should be the standard, and they do it sometimes, and they don't do it some other times. But the TV champions should be the ones always like every week doing something.
Agreed.
In terms of a match, I think Fletcher is the one to beat him for it. I don't know if they're gonna wait. I don't know if they're probably gonna hold that to All In, which I'm fine with. I guess I know I just said move it quick, but
at
tell
this point,
a good story.
What are they gonna do?
Build this up because you got 6-7 weeks to build. You can make that work.
I agree.
Oh yeah, that's all I got on that one.
Sweet.
Next up, okay. So Danny, did
I see the spiders?
Did you see the spider, Danny?
I saw a huge spider this week, but my fucking problem was that we all almost missed the huge spider this week because they fucked up her entrance, her debut, which really upset me for her.
Okay, so first off, her name,
Tekla.
For those of you that did not watch, her name is Tekla. I think I've called her Thekla here on the show before. I actually never heard her name said. I can take that L. But now we know, and that's why we learn things. So her name is Tekla. The H is silent. Thank you, Excalibur. And she came out and she attacked Jamie Hayter immediately. And yeah, man, they completely bungled this. Like, first off, like you said, they completely missed like the moment or the camera angle. I don't know what they were going for there. Like, it had to have known the production. Like,
so what I think was that they mistimed it. I think they thought that she was going to come out a little bit later because they were trying to get the shot of the Titantron, or what I think they should have just gotten was the shot of the ring with the Titantron, so you could see the Tekla in the background, and then you could see her come in. But no, it was really messed up bad. I feel bad for her.
Like, while that, like, and I hate to say I could forgive it, but I can forgive that because it happens, like, whatever. But what annoyed me was like they immediately went to like a Mystico video package and commercial, and I'm like, let that moment sit, let it breathe. I didn't even have a second to like be in that, and that's the thing. Like WWE does things that are way too long sometimes, but at least they really give moments and stuff like that time, breathe and beat. So like, there's a middle ground. AEW's too quick, WWE's too long. It's like just find that sweet spot of like letting a debut mean something and let it like sit. Like that, it was just way over way too quick. I didn't enjoy that at all.
No, I agree, and like you said, it wasn't even that they missed the moment. The whole attack, the whole segment was less than 3 minutes. I feel like it was so short from the time the lights went out to the time that they went to Mystico. I blinked. And I'm like, this girl is supposed to be your big deal. You've been hyping her up. You put all these spiders on that I've missed for weeks and weeks and weeks, and now she's here. And this time you're the reason I missed her. It wasn't my fault.
And you want to know something crazy? Like, maybe I'm wrong here, but like, you don't take it away from Mercedes' moment, but you could have easily had Mercedes like from Double or Nothing run out, run away, and then have Jamie Hayter slowly getting up from her defeat. Crowd cheering and support. We love you, Jamie. You did it. Then lights out. Tekla debuts right there at Double or Nothing. Does the same thing.
Yep.
Pay-per-view debut. Way more impactful. That's what I would have done.
And then if you go to something quick there, it makes sense because it's a pay-per-view. So like that's going to be like a little quicker to move it through. I do like Excalibur mentioned that they've seen the spiders for weeks, but never mentioned them when they appear during those weeks. That is true. Because he did say that, and in my head I'm like, I would have noticed that they mentioned it every week. They didn't mention it every week.
Yeah, they didn't. They left it to us, and I like that. All right, last up, the final segment of Dynamite last night, we had Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné going face to face, head to head, first time ever on the mic, and I loved it. I thought it delivered. I think they both played their part well in setting the tone, setting the bar, and like I don't know what they're gonna do from here to keep it hot or different, rather than just doing the same thing every week. I don't think they will. I love Tony's line about like we both had to leave that place to become who we were meant to be
Yep.
here today in this moment, whatever it was. But like that was awesome because it's so true. They both became just so much better as talents in their careers just from leaving. So they deserve it. I mean, like while I don't agree with the belt thing, like I've said, they deserve this, and I think they're gonna tear the house down. And I'm really intrigued what they're gonna do because I honestly don't know what you do. I personally think it's more. I don't know if you really have Tony and Mox both beat the winners. I think one of them.
No, I
you
think
would-
Mercedes wins. I think you had to put it on Mercedes, man.
Yeah,
Only
it's just then
because Tony doesn't need it anymore. Like,
I agree. I agree with that. It's crazy too because I feel like Tony. I feel like she's legit over now more than she was her first reign.
you
Like,
know why?
maybe it's just she's getting yeah.
I don't know if it's just me. It looks like she's just having more fun with this character the second go around. Like now that she's like, I keep thinking to was it a week or two ago where she was going all over the arena like, now I'm over here, now I'm over here, now I'm outside, and then she went to the back. Like that's one of my favorite promos of the year so far, and it was just so stupid and short, but like it was so funny. Yeah, no, I agree. I think she's more over. I do love I from the beginning loved it because the first thing that she says is, you told TK that you wanted me from the beginning. What took you so long? And it's just like, oh my God, just like dropping the foot right away. Yeah. Where the fuck have you been?
Yeah. And that's the thing, and again, people need to realize, like, and this is what's good about AEW is like Tony, Mercedes is going to play the heel. Like, she's going to say patience and this and that. Mm-hmm. Like, she's going to be that kind of that coward character, like even doing what they did at the end with the handshake and then the finishing moves. Like, it's not Tony. Like, if this was Britt Baker, you know what I mean? It'd be like, oh, I'm being cool and I'm going to get the pop. Like, Mercedes isn't really looking for that. And so I loved it. I love the segment, and like I'm looking forward to this one obviously more than Box and Page, just because of the people
100%. But I'm also looking forward to this one because, unlike Mox and Page, and no offense to Mox and Page, these are literally two of our top, like both of us, two of our top women's wrestlers of all time that are about to face off, like in the prime of, like at the peak of their career. This is going to be epic, and I can't wait for this match. It's going to deliver. The promos are going to be so good leading up to it, and like you said, I'm not nervous about them doing the same thing over and over because they never do somehow. And that is one thing I'll give them. And I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I said something in the past that's different. I don't think so. But I can't remember a time in Mercedes or Tony's even recent feuds of the last like year or two where like any feud I felt like, all right, you're getting repetitive, or like that's been done, or like I don't know why you're doing the same. Like most of them, they've been trying to keep it fresh, even if it's bad. I'm not saying good or bad, but at least it's been different. It's always been something different or something new every week. So I think this could be some of the best promo work we've seen in a very long time between two women, between two superstars, but between two women wrestlers, because like they just have so much ammo for each other too. Like they've traveled all over, they've been in a lot of the same places, they've done a lot. I'm so excited thinking about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, I think early predictions, I think Mercedes does win. I think Moxley wins, like we've been talking about. And those are the only two matches announced so far for All In, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else? And then we also know what's eventually coming. I think Omega and Okada. I think Omega has to win that, just because of like what's the medical stuff recently, him being gone for so long, like he hasn't had like a big single match win. Like I know he won the belt, but that I don't count that as like a huge match win. Him versus Okada, like I think is going to be that first like big Kenny win in a very long time, and I think he needs it.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say, and I know I'm probably in the minority on this, as long as it's winner take all, that's fine.
Yes.
If they're unifying the belts, I'll be pissed. I don't think the belts should be
Ooh,
unified.
interesting. Okay.
Because it's not. I've never considered the Continental Championship a championship. It's Continental Crown. It's just something that basically like it's like a trophy. It gives you admission into the Continental Classic. I've never seen it as a belt personally. I know I'm wrong. I'm in my head canon here, but I don't think it should go away.
So
it should still be a thing.
And so, if I'm hearing it correctly, for you, the Continental Crown is kind of like the diamond ring.
Yeah. I mean, you can lose it at any time. Just whoever has it by the time the classic comes around the next year is the one that gets in, and then the belt goes on the line, and then you go from there. So, I don't mind it existing. Like it shouldn't. I don't know. I don't want them being unified. I know a lot of people want one of them to go away, and I'd rather not. But we'll see how things go.
Agreed. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that brings us to the end of the night. And right before 8:59 on the dot. Look at us. So, thank you guys for coming. Our next show is Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m. We will be doing, well, actually, we're not sure right now because we just finished our tournament. I'm still thinking about the greatest finishing move of all time. So, we will reconvene this weekend and come up with some great segments for Tuesday. So come, please join us. Have some fun. Juice, what do you guys say?
But if you can't wait until Tuesday, if you're losing your mind going, oh my God, I need some juice in my life, Danny can be there too, I guess. Come to Facebook tomorrow night. Till 5 Wrestling is hosting a tournament. Greatest women's wrestler of all time. We will be there. We will be drafting. We will be speaking. We will be voting. We will be arguing and making enemies.
Come and we will be winning.
Till 5 Wrestling, Facebook. Be there, 7 p.m.
Peace out, everyone. See you guys hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah.